Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Sacred Social Studios podcast. It is another beautiful week ahead, and we are going to be talking about the astrology of April 14th to April 20th. And this week, everything is shifting. We have Mercury entering Aries, Mars entering Leo, and my favorite zodiac sign, Taurus, which I'm not I hope one day that I have a Taurus baby because I love Taurus signs. My father is a Taurus. My best friend is a Taurus. I love Taurus energy. I am a Capricorn, so I just happen to I never fight with a Taurus. We just connect. We understand each other. Even when we don't understand each other, we understand that we don't understand each other. It's amazing. I love it. So Taurus season begins. And so this week, essentially, you're being asked to speak boldly. That's that Mercury entering Aries. You're being asked to be confident and believe in yourself. That's that Mars going into Leo. And then ground into what really matters to you, the values that matters to you, the things that are important to you. And that's that Taurus season beginning. We're officially stepping out of the emotional intensity of eclipse season, which we just had. And oh my God, you guys, did anybody have an incredibly intense new moon in Aries eclipse? That solar eclipse, I mean, really knocked me on my ass. And I got to tell you, family issues, sibling issues, work issues. I mean, everything came to a head on the solar eclipse. And girl, the struggle is so real. So please let me know down in the comments if this eclipse kind of got you also and got you feeling all kinds of ways. But thankfully, we're moving out of that and we're moving into fire and earth energy, which I love because that is the epitome of me. I am a Capricorn sun, Capricorn rising, Leo moon, fire and earth. I'm gonna feel good. So I'm really excited. And let's break it down day by day with insights into your emotions, into your business strategy. And then I'll share some affirmations actually this time to keep you aligned and magnetic. And the reason why I want to share affirmations is because I truly believe that it is important that you take responsibility for the thoughts that you have in your mind. It's really important. You are thinking so many thoughts a day, and the majority of the thoughts that you have are really negative. And if you're not taking responsibility for how you're thinking, you're going to end up thinking a bunch of thoughts that aren't in alignment with what you want to manifest. A lot of us are manifesting outcomes and scenarios in our lives that don't feel great simply because we are not taking responsibility for the thoughts that we have. So that's why I want to share affirmations, because positive affirmations are one of the most powerful ways to take the reins of your thoughts and start creating a new pathway that allows you to think and feel and believe in the things that feel good for you, that feel in alignment for you. So I'm going to share some affirmations now moving forward that you can take on for each day, or that you can write down in your diary, like, whatever feels good. Anyway, let's start with Sunday, April 14th. We got moon in Scorpio. Yes. Okay. So Sunday, April 14th at 9:54 Eastern Standard Time AM, the moon will transit into Scorpio. Now, this is one of my favorite types of energies because Scorpio moon energy is very emotionally like deep and it's intense. So you might feel a little bit more internal today. There might be more of like internal processing, reflecting, doing some shadow work is also a really good thing to do on a Scorpio moon because Scorpio energy rules over the shadow self, over the healing and both the healed and the unhealed parts of you. It's all about that transformation, getting from one side to the other. That's what Scorpio energy is all about. And so this is a great day on Sunday to really focus on what are the parts of me that maybe I might be ashamed of, that I need to work through, what are the wounds that need more healing, that need more support and growth, and then what is the plan moving forward so I can actually begin to see that growth manifest in front of me. Business wise, this is not the best day for pushing out content. This is actually a great day for doing like the back end stuff. It's a good day to get ready for the rest of the week ahead. And we have the moon in Scorpio for a few days here. So this is a great time to just focus on prepping, journaling, getting clear on like what are your goals that you want to have. And as we've started this new year, Aries season begins the new year, and Taurus season kind of allows us to feel that in between station of spring before we hit summer. Not right after, obviously, because then we have Gemini and then we have summer. But point is that we're going to be moving into that middle part of spring, really getting into our groove and finding our vibration. So this is a perfect time to start getting clear on what are the things that you want to start putting into place and you want to start seeing manifest throughout the spring and maybe into summer. All right. So tune into your intuition for what needs to shift in maybe your offers, maybe your workflow. This is also a good time to focus on that because Scorpio energy is kind of a researcher a little bit, and so, not a little bit, a lot of it. Okay. Because if you've ever met Scorpio, you know they're going to go dig deep. Okay. So this is a good time to kind of dig into your offers and see what still feels in alignment, what doesn't, what needs to be released, what needs to be embraced, all of that. And your affirmation for Sunday is I honor my emotions and I allow transformation to guide my next move. Ah, I love that one. I created that myself, so thank you. Um, okay, so Monday, April 15th. This is also tax day. Yeah, not feeling that. But we must give to the people and give to the government and all of that. Anyway, let's not talk about it because maybe if we don't talk about it, it won't hurt so bad. Emotionally, because the moon is still in Scorpio, you may still be feeling very in your feels, in your heart, in your emotions. So don't rush. Let clarity rise as it comes. Do not try to force yourself into knowing exactly what steps to take. You might feel yourself feeling a little less, like a little bit more muddy waters because Scorpio energy is a water sign. And it's also a deep, I like to think of it like this. If the zodiac signs were an ocean, Scorpio is the depth, the dark part of the ocean where it's like, damn, bitches be scared, you know? Right? And Pisces season is like the light part of the ocean, the top of the ocean where everything is great and we got mermaids and shit and we chilling. And so I like to think of it as like Scorpio moon energy is very, very deep, and it's that shadowy, dark, unknown kind of existence. And so you might not feel very clear on exactly what you're manifesting or what you're bringing in, and that's okay, right? Because you can do the research, you can kind of sit back and just wait as things kind of unfold. So don't rush into anything, just let it rise from within. This is also a powerful, powerful day because it's Monday, moon day, to focus on energetic clearing, focus on shadow work, do some internal like alignment work. Where are you not showing up in your highest self or in your power? Also, look for where Scorpio is in your chart to help determine what area of your life is being activated by this moon placement. For me, Scorpio rules over my 10th house of reputation. It also rules over my midheaven. It's my legacy, it's my career, it's all of that. And so this means that during that time, I'll be focusing on those kind of matters. Where am I showing up in my legacy, and how am I showing up in my legacy? Am I showing up in alignment with my purpose? Things like that. Those types of thoughts tend to come up for me when the moon is in Scorpio because it's activating that part of my chart. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you're like, girl, what do you mean activations? What are we talking about? Um, then you should book a reading with me. I would love to sit with you and help you to understand yourself and your chart. I would love to help you to understand how to use your chart to manifest and to create the things that you want, as well as understand yourself. I like to look at astrology as one of the many tools, one of the many abundant opportunities that you have to learn about yourself, how to create, how to make opportunities for yourself, as well as understand your purpose and your personality and who you are and why you are the way that you are. Readings are so much fun to do, and there's so many different things that you can learn about yourself that just one reading isn't enough. So I've started offering packages as well where we can meet on a monthly basis to look at what's coming up in the skies, how can that influence and impact your business as well as your personality and your energy and your emotions, as well as looking at what is currently happening in this moment so you can take the lessons that you need and then leave the rest. So if you're interested, which I know you are, then go ahead and go down to the description below and book your reading. If you're not sure what type of reading or if you should get a package or not, then what I would encourage you to do is to book a discovery call, because that's absolutely free. You and I can just talk and chat. You can kind of get to know my energy and see the vibration, how it works, and then we can decide together how we're going to work together. So that's a free call, about 20 minutes, and you get to share a little bit of your story with me and share what are your goals, and then I help you figure out what's the best way for us to go and meet those goals. So go down to the description, book your call, or book the free discovery call. All right, so what's the affirmation for Monday, April 15th? It is, I trust what is rising and release what no longer serves my evolution. Oh, honey, listen, why I love that one is because Scorpio energy rules over the transformation. It's literally the circle of life. So it's not just the ending or the beginning, it's both. And so now it's like, let me just trust what's coming up. If it's tears, if it's sadness, if it's happiness, if it's joy, if it's guilt, if it's fear, let me trust what's coming up and then release any of the things that no longer work for me. Let's say Scorpio is ruling over your house of seventh house of relationships, right? Maybe what's coming up are certain relationships are no longer in alignment with your evolution, boo. And so now it's time for you to release them and let it go. If Scorpio is ruling over your house of siblings, the third house, maybe what's coming up is that it's time to release the patterns that you have with your siblings and how things have always been. Now it's time to create a new relationship, a new targeted way of having connection with your siblings, right? Or maybe it's over your ninth house of beliefs. And now it's time to release the beliefs that are no longer in alignment with you and embrace the beliefs that represent who you are today, right? What no longer serves your evolution, it is time for you to release it and instead embrace what is currently rising. All right, now let's move on to Tuesday, April 16th. The moon is in Scorpio for the majority of the day, but by the end of the day at 10:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon will transit into Sagittarius. Now, Sagittarius is a fun-loving sign, loves knowledge, loves a good time, loves to chill out and just really just make life happy, right? And so by the end of the night, you're going to find yourself feeling a little bit, if you're still awake, you're going to find yourself feeling a little bit more jovial versus and more social versus during the majority of the day, it's going to feel a little bit more, again, that Scorpio energy of feeling going like that deep within, being more internal processing and all of that. So because the Scorpio moon during the day is wrapping up its cycle of deep inner work, by the nighttime, the Sagittarius moon lifts the vibration, bringing you more optimism, bringing you a sense of adventure. In your business, this is going to be the time to spend the daytime wrapping up anything emotional, wrapping up anything inward facing, wrapping up the internal processing things. And then by the evening or into the next day, Wednesday, you can start prepping for like maybe a new offer that's come from all the meditation and the internal processing that you've been doing for the last couple of days. And so now you're starting to think about what are the actions that I want to take moving forward when it comes to Sagittarius energy. The affirmation for Tuesday, April 16th is, I move through endings with grace and I welcome the expansion ahead. And the reason I say that is because remember what I said, Scorpio rules over the endings and the beginnings. And then Sagittarius rules over beliefs and expansion and growth. So we're moving through the ending of a cycle and we're beginning to jump into a new vibration, a new energy that is very different from Scorpio. And we're embracing that and welcoming that expansion. Now, Wednesday, April 17th, girl, the moon is in Sagittarius and Mercury enters Aries. Now, let me tell you something. Okay, Mercury is the planet of communication. It's the planet of short-term travel. It's the planet of thought. And Aries, oh, Aries energy is fast, it's fiery, it's intuitive, it's strategic, it's quick, it's fast acting. It doesn't always think its way through things. And so when you marry the planet of thought and communication with the sign of not necessarily thinking all the way through things and taking action immediately, and then you marry the moon, the planet of emotions, with the very fiery sign of Sagittarius. I mean, this is a lot. This is a huge shift in energy from where we've been, because where we've been since Sunday has been this energy of quietness, reflectiveness, kind of going within. And now we are loud and proud and out and about. Okay. So embrace this huge shift. Okay. With Mercury moving into Aries, and Mercury is going to be in Aries until, let me check my calendar, May 10th. So this is going to be quite a while, right? Whereas like the moon moves every 2 to 2.5 days or so, Mercury takes a little bit more time as it moves through the different signs. And we kind of got a little bit of a glimpse of Mercury in Aries when we were going through Mercury retrograde. It retrograded through Aries and retrograded through Pisces. However, because it was retrograding, the flow wasn't as natural as it's going to be moving forward. And so right now, your thoughts, your words, your decisions are going to be sharper and faster and bolder. And you're not going to be as nervous to say what's on your mind, which in one hand is great, right? Because if there needs to be things that need to be said, then you're going to have that confidence to believe in yourself and to say what needs to be, like what needs to be said. However, be mindful, because the thing about moon in Sagittarius is Sagittarius also rules over truth. The symbol for the Sagittarius is the archer. And with the archer, the arrow that she's using to pull back is the truth before she lets it fly. And so when you have a moon in Sagittarius with a Mercury in Aries, there's a lot of potential for you to say things where you put your foot in your mouth. And as someone who already has her Mercury in Sagittarius, I am always putting my foot in my mouth. And it sucks. Okay. I always end up saying something that I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have said that. So be mindful, even though it may be the truth. That's the thing. Like, and this is also something my intuitive people, we got to learn this, because sometimes we're like, well, we got to say it because it's the truth. It's what the energy is saying. But it doesn't mean that the person is ready for that truth. So keep that in mind, that just because it's true doesn't mean it needs to be said. So make sure that you are practicing discernment as well as honesty. All right. Your communication is going to be a bit more direct. It's going to be, like I said, it's going to be sharper, because we have the planet of communication in a fire sign and the planet of emotion in a fire sign. It's a lot. But on the other hand, on the light side of things, your ability to make decisions starts to improve. So if you've been feeling kind of stagnant, especially with that moon in Scorpio, if you've been at, oh, hold on, actually, the moon in Scorpio and Venus as of Saturday, the 12th, Venus will finally be direct. On April 7th, Mercury also went direct. We're still in a shadow period, but the point of the matter is that with both Mercury and Venus going direct, with eclipse season over, with Mercury entering Aries and the moon in Sagittarius, we now can have some clarity. The cloud that may have been kind of fogging up your life is now lifted. And now you might find that it's easier to make decisions. It's easier to move forward. It's easier to decide, do I want this? Do I don't? Do I not? Whatever. When it comes to your business, this is going to be the perfect time to start focusing on just speaking from your heart. Don't sugarcoat, don't try to make it sound pretty. The transformation is what people are looking for. They are looking for the truth. And you don't want to put your foot in your mouth when it comes to like harshness, but when it comes to your business, what you want to do is you just want to start talking more candidly about the transformation that you provide when people decide to work with you. Be bold in your messaging, be bold in your emails and your content. Say what others are only thinking. This is one of those things that it's like, when we have these fire placement days, this is a great time where people are focused on like, they have a lot of things that are going on internally, but they might not be saying it aloud. So if you actually say the thing that everyone's thinking, not only might it be funny and entertaining, like let's say if you're doing like a trending sound or things like that on Reels or TikTok, but it's also might be something that really lands with someone. And it might be that thing that makes people go, I really love the truth that she tells. And I want to work with her because she keeps it 100. You know what I mean? So the affirmation for Wednesday, April 17th is I speak with clarity, confidence, and purpose. Let's move on to Thursday, April 18th, where Mercury is now conjunct Neptune in Aries. So Neptune, the planet of dreams, now meets up with Mercury, the planet of thought and communication, short term travel. And so this kind of blends, like, because Neptune also rules over visions. And so this pulls in like the dreams that you have, the visions that you have with action, because Aries is all about action. So instead of feeling like I can't move forward, if you've been feeling like you've been on the precipice of something huge, Thursday, April 18th is the time to start putting that plan into motion. Now, at the beginning of the day, you might feel a little bit of mental fog, just a little bit, not only because Mercury, we're still in the shadow period of its retrograde, but also because Neptune, although it rules over visions, it also creates sometimes this like altered reality, making it hard to know what's real and what's not, hence why it rules over dreams. But because it's in that forward moving, action taking sign of Aries, this is going to be like your breakthrough. It's now time for you to actually create, to say the things that you need to say, and to start moving forward. You might start channeling and really coming up with like lots of intuitive downloads and ideas and turning it into something that's real. So go ahead and actually start writing down what's coming up. This is like Reels ideas, email ideas, any writing that blends inspiration with action. Maybe as well, depending on where it is in your chart. For me, Aries rules over my house of social media and communication. And so because of that, I tend to get really inspired with my social media whenever Aries is activated. And there's a lot of planets currently in Pisces and Aries. And so there's a lot of things happening in my house of social media, communication, sibling relationships. Like there's just a lot of things changing in that area of my life. So this is definitely the time to start looking at what is the vision that I have for me, what is the vision I have for my social media and how can I turn that into something real? And let's say if Aries rules over your 8th house of shadow work and shifting and changing and transformation, what is the vision that you have for yourself that you would like to become? And how can you start to implement that? Be careful of overpromising or romanticizing the things that you do in your business, because this is a powerful, powerful, powerful time to manifest. So it's time for you to stay grounded in the truth. What is it that you want to create in your business that you would like to see manifest? And how are you going to make that happen? How are you going to bring that into the light and bring it to fruition? The affirmation for Thursday is my ideas are sacred and I express them with purpose and passion. Let's move on to Friday, April 19th, Mars officially enters Leo until June 17th. So Mars is the planet of action, of passion, of like, let's go. And it moving into Leo, a fire energy, really, not just a fire energy, but a fire energy that rules over confidence, which means that you might find that you're feeling a little bit more confident. And this is nice because after we've had a very tumultuous March with the astrology of March, we had such a crazy eclipse season. I mean, I don't know about you, but I really did. I had a lot happen in my family and in my business. A lot of shifts started to happen during that Mercury retrograde, during Venus retrograde, and during eclipse season. And I know for a lot of my clients, they had similar things happening. You might have had that too. So there was just a lot going on and it didn't feel good. But now, as Mars moves into Leo and as Mercury and Neptune meet up in Aries, we have a lot of fire energy happening. And so there finally seems to be some sort of movement, whereas it feels like for a while we've been stuck in the mud. Now we're moving forward, right? And so this Mars moving into Leo might make you feel like main character energy. Oh, ain't nobody gonna mess with my flow. Hey, main character energy on the go. Okay, that's not the lyrics to the song, but I do what I do. I make up lyrics and I do what I do. It's a school of the song called Main Character Energy, I believe, by Moonlight Scorpio. Look it up. It's good. I love positive music. And but I don't think those are the lyrics. That's all right. But at least I can rhyme, okay? Nicki Minaj in the building. Anyway, even though I'm more of a Cardi B girl. Anyways, but I respect Nicki. I respect her because she's good at what she does. I just don't necessarily like her. Anyway, what are we talking about? Let's get back to business. Let's get down to business. Hey, to defeat the Huns. Okay. Um, wow. So can you tell that I ran out of my ADHD meds? Because I did. And it's a challenge. It's been a challenge for the last couple of days. It's on back order. So we have no idea when it's coming through. And bitches be struggling. Okay. Tell me in the comments if you guys are struggling with me, because I know there's quite a few of you who have also struggled with the ADHD meds not being available, but also if this is entertaining for you, just let me know because I know that I have lost my marbles on this episode, but we're fine. Anyway, getting back to Friday, April 19th, let's focus on where you should be showing up in your business. This is a perfect time for you to start showing off your gifts. Create boldly, launch fearlessly, show up fully in your power, girl, because Mars in Leo is about visibility. It's about being seen. And not just being seen for the sake of being seen, but being seen for what makes you special, for being seen for what makes you unique. Mars in Leo, for me, Leo energy rules over my 8th house and a little bit of my wait, is it my 8th house and my 9th house or my 8th house and my 7th? I know it rules over my 8th house because my moon is in Leo. Okay, yeah, 7th house and Leo, and my 7th and my 8th house. And why is this significant? So for me, with Mars entering Leo, it's going to be entering into a little bit of my house of relationships, which is the 7th house, and then a little bit of my house of transformation, which is the 8th house. So I'm going to want to be seen for my spiritual prowess and my powers. I'm going to want to be seen for my spiritual gifts. And that's going to be how I want to show up until June 17th is like going to be, I want to be noticed for it. And I can see that already playing out because I have some things happening with, anyways, I don't want to get into it because it's going to get confusing and you can't see anyways. I mean, you can, but I don't have the wheel up. But there's a lot happening also in my 10th house. And so with that, there has been like a lot of aspects that are happening that are creating this like fearlessness when it comes to who I want to be in my power. And you're going to find that you're feeling that energy too once Mars enters Leo, to see where it's going to show up in your life and what area of your life you're going to feel this boldness and this courageousness show up. That's where you're going to look at your astrology wheel, or you can book a reading with me so we can see Where are you going to feel this boldness? And then how can you take advantage of it? I'm going to be taking advantage of it in my relationships by showing up and doing more collaborations online, doing more partnerships, showing up more boldly in my marriage. And I'm also going to do it more in my eighth house matters, meaning the transformation, the spiritual work, the shadow work. I'm going to feel like taking up space in that area of my life. So this is going to be the time where, between April 19th to June 17th, this is the time to create reels, to go live. And maybe that's something that I'll start doing too, because I haven't gone live in a really long time. So go live, just be loud and proud about who you are and what you do and what you represent. The affirmation for that day is going to be, I take up space with confidence and I allow my passion to lead. And then finally, we have Saturday, April 20th, 420. Okay, and it's a Saturday? Okay, no judgment. Okay, we listen and we don't judge. Okay. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful 420. No matter how you celebrate, Taurus season begins, which is also so Taurus. It is such a Taurus season thing for 420 to exist on this day. So Taurus season begins at let me see, what time is it? 3:56 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so now that we're officially entering Taurus season, this is going to be the time that you want to slow down. You want to root yourself deeply into the practices that you have. You want to prioritize pleasure, peace, and you want to choose things that bring you a sense of joy, a sense of happiness, a sense of fulfillment, right? Because after all of the energy that we have going on in Aries, and the fires of the Sagittarius energy of the moon in Sagittarius, and then the eclipse chaos that we had with that Aries kind of happening, Taurus finally brings that moment where you can just excel, where you can just say, like, all right, I'm breathing out and I'm just living my life, right? And that's what you want to focus on when it comes to Taurus season. This Taurus season, there's quite a bit happening in the skies. We'll talk about it as the weeks go on. But it's time to just take some time to slow down. And that's what Taurus really rules down over is slowing down, taking it easy, grounding yourself into who you are, who you want to be, how you want to act. And because sometimes it's like when you have Aries energy and you have Gemini energy, which is what comes right after Taurus. Aries energy is very fast moving, fast paced, and it's like, let's go, let's take the action, let's not overthink it, let's just go. Gemini season is also kind of if a forward moving sign, because it's that air sign, and so it's not as fast as fire, but it's still moving forward. Taurus energy is the foundation, it's the earth element. And so it's allowing you to say, let me slow down to think before I pick things back up when it comes to Gemini. Now, this is going to be a faster paced Taurus season because we have so many things happening with Mercury and Neptune and Aries and all this other stuff. So it's going to be a faster paced season than we're normally used to when it comes to Taurus. But the point is that it is time to start to reevaluate, like, how am I showing up, and am I showing up in a light that reflects who I really want to be, right? And if the answer to that is no, maybe you're not showing up in your relationships the way that you want to. Maybe you're not being honest about what you believe. I mean, I've been guilty of that, where it's like when it comes to certain relationships, family, I don't tend to show up as boldly spiritually as I do in like my friendships, because there's fear there. And so now it's like, this is the time to start reevaluating, is this how I want to show up? Or do I want to change this? I find for me, Taurus season is when my house of family is activated. So I do tend to be a little bit more focused on my family and focused on how I'm showing up in that area of my life. And am I showing up honestly in that area? So for you, look for where Taurus is shining in your chart. Maybe it's your fifth house, maybe it's your 12th house. And if none of this makes sense, again, I encourage you to book a discovery call with me, because then we can talk about how I can break down your chart and help you to understand yourself and understand timing of your life. When it comes to your business on Saturday, April 20th, one, honestly, relax. It's 420. So just chill out. You know what I mean? Don't think too much. Don't think too much. Just enjoy yourself. Allow yourself to practice self-care. Again, it doesn't matter how you celebrate, but the point is just relax. Just take it easy. Anyways, this was a great episode. I really hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you had some laughs and you learned something about yourself and about the week ahead. This week is going to be inviting you to own your truth, to act courageously, and to turn your visions into reality. You're being asked to own your voice, to show up fully, and to start to really dig deep into what really matters to you. So I would love to know what you thought about today's episode, which transits you're most excited about for this week. Let me know down in the comments because I would love to hear. And then as always, if you want a personalized look at how these transits are lighting up your chart and how you can use it to manifest more success, more clients, more abundance in your life and your business, then go ahead and book a birth chart reading with me. I would love to get on a call with you. All right. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.